Beautiful listeners. Welcome to your least favorite podcast, CMT. It's your host, Shanze Reza, and I'm here with Amar at KCR, and he is a representative of KCR, and we'll be talking about all that, the arts, and if you're interested, just stick around. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep, but thank you for having me.
As most artists do.
Yeah.
Not surprised. Okay, so I want to start really at the start of KCR. What does that look like, and where is that in the timeline? How far back do you guys go?
So KCR was founded, I think, about now 3 years ago, maybe four, by our founder John Zabe and his friend Daniel, and both of them started KCR as a means of getting artists airplay and taking radio into their own hands and taking playing music that they wanted to hear, underrepresented artists, getting them out there. And it kind of coincided with a lot of the tech that KCR works with. Like, we work with green screens, we've been experimenting consistently. So it's like it truly is an audio visual intervention. It's not just one or the other. Like, we try to, every live stream that we do, everything that we've done in the past has been a, amalgamation of audio, visual, trying to put the two together and make an interesting product that isn't being done anywhere in the world, let alone within Pakistan. So.
Right, yeah. No, I love that. And can you further kind of elaborate on, because KCR, so Karachi Community Radio, but you guys are more than a radio, as you just explained. So what would you market yourself as or describe yourself as?
On paper, we call ourselves a radio. So we are an online radio. You can tune into us through Instagram. Like, we do live shows and stuff. But radio itself isn't the same as it was 20 years ago. So We're not exactly an FM radio, but we're an online radio. And we don't even we have shows on YouTube. We have shows on Instagram. We go on Instagram Live and have shows there. But moreover, we're a collective. So we have a community where we take that part very seriously. We have a community of different members of the music scene, the visual art scene. Everyone gets together, and any event that we have is a real community effort to try and put forth the best product and to uplift any type of art that we find interesting and that we think deserves some spotlight.
Okay. Is that why you guys maybe have the two separate Instagram pages? Because you have so much to offer?
So the separate Instagram, KCR Studio, is for commercial work. So that's we do visuals, we do virtual meetings for brands, and we have had experience working with a lot of brands for that. So that's our commercial side gig, and then Karachi Community Radio is purely for the arts. So there's no, it's community funded. There's no sponsorships, etc.
It's really an exclusive club almost. You can.
I wouldn't say exclusive. I would just say exclusive to commercialization.
Right.
Not to any artist or independent artist from any caste or creed,
Got it. Okay. I want to really understand the dynamic and kind of the culture that goes behind the scenes. And can you just describe to me maybe who the founder is and the positions that you guys have going on here? Who does what, and how many members are behind KCR? Right.
So John Zabe, who you've met, is our founder, and he is the brain behind most of the visuals and the technology. He's super talented, and he is very interested in new tech and is always on top of it whenever any type of new technology comes out in terms of camera, in terms of visual arts, computers, coding. Okay. He's very adamant about incorporating that into KCR and in using technology in an interesting way that isn't being done before for virtual production, for example. So that's why we have in our studio this massive green screen that you can see around us. So he's really good at doing all of that stuff. I joined in March of this year, so I'm not exactly an old member, but I'd been following KCR while I was away at uni. Now I moved back, so then first thing I did when I came back was I want to start working here. I want to get involved, and so my role exactly is basically I do a lot of stuff. I don't have an exact defined role, but content creator / booker / artist manager. It's basically everything and anything.
Wherever they need you, they'll just be you go here.
I draft the Instagram posts. I'll do everything. Whatever I'm asked to do, I'll do. If we're throwing an event, I'll help out on the day, book an artist rapport, which is the stuff I enjoy. So stuff like that.
Okay. So
And me and John Zay bounce ideas off each other when it comes to the visuals. He's much more in depth in terms of like how skilled he is at the visual stuff. I'm more a layman in that sense, so my input is limited, but I know what I like and don't like. So
Right.
we have a nice chemistry going, and whenever we're designing something or having, it's a collaborative effort.
cool, cool. Okay, I want to know if you can tell me, is this all volunteer work that the team is doing, or is this really a job?
So the Karachi community radio stuff is technically just volunteer based because we don't take any paycheck at the at home from the stuff that we do for the radio. Anything that we do that is posted on KCR is purely for the arts. KCR Studio, however, is the commercial venture, so there we're working with brands and not so much artists. So that's kind of where we would make any funds, and most of that actually just goes back into KCR
Yeah.
to fund Karachi Community Radio. Like a lot of our business ventures with KCR Studio have gone just to fund KCR, and that's
To
kind of
grow what you guys do.
exactly, and that's like our business model to try and keep it sustainable, because at the end of the day, we're never satisfied with what we do here, so we always want to improve and always want to get better, and that requires a little bit of,
It does.
so yeah.
I love that. No, okay, really cool. So I got to experience a little bit of what it is like working with you guys today when we were setting up. Can you walk me through kind of like if an artist approaches you, how do you guys deliver the best experience?
So it depends on what we're going for at the time. Like as far as, since I've been working here, it's usually we want to tinker with something and we want to experiment, and the artist just wants to play. So the artist will be like, hey, KCR, I want to do XYZ, I want to do something, I want to do a show. We'll be like, hey, we're doing virtual productions, you want to come by a green screen, and then we'll set it up, and then we'll have the creative control over what goes into the virtual production. Or for example, it would be like, hey, we used to have a balcony in our old spot, so we'd be like, hey, we have a balcony, you want to come perform there, we'll video you, we put it on YouTube, etc., etc. So it's usually just like bouncing ideas off each other, and then maybe if the artist has an idea, if they have something specific, we'll take that into account and make it like a real collaborative effort. So that's usually how it goes down when we.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate how it's like bouncing off of each other and not just strictly something that, because that's what art is. You don't want it to become something so commercial based and so controlling.
Right.
So I appreciate what you got, your efforts, and it's recognizable. I see that through all your posts and the artists, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so can you share with me some of the highlights, some of the best? I know you joined only recently, but maybe you guys have talked or something even in your short period with the company, something that you look back at and you're like, that's really cool, we did that.
I feel like a lot of the virtual production sets that we did with the disc jockey, which is like we call it disc jockey, where we have a DJ and he's in the green screen, and he or she or they are in the green screen, and they perform, and that's something that I had never seen before, like a DJ, and we made visuals for it, and it looked really sick. So that's on our YouTube. If you type in Karachi Community Radio disc jockey, you can usually find out. It's a whole playlist full of DJs from the local scene. That was a really exciting one.
Just a subtle plug, guys.
Yeah, very, very subtle. I heart KCR on Instagram. But I think that was really cool. Also, we've started doing Instagram Lives, which is something that I'm really excited about, because there's a chat function in Instagram Live. So what we've been doing now is, if someone is doing a radio show, like purely audio, we'll actually air it live on Instagram. So people will get a notification KCR is live, and then they can tune in at that time. And you'll have like viewers popping in, popping out, because Instagram's very like instantaneous. People watch for a few seconds, pop out, but they'll be like, oh, what's this? And and then they'll get a little bit of excitation, and then they can check out the archive later.
Exactly.
So that's like a new thing that we've been trying to do. And then as we've been doing it, the numbers have been growing. Like more and more people are tuning in, more and more people are commenting, and that's really rewarding for us to see, because we're like, oh, cool. So people are actually like digging a lot of the stuff that we're putting on. So
yeah, no, I definitely, it's very obvious that you guys are growing, the community is growing, because I actually found you guys via Instagram, which you guys are using very much to your power. So that's a really cool tool.
Right.
Great job.
Thank you. Yeah, social media is me and John Zay, neither of us think we're very good at it, but we try basically.
Well, I wish I wasn't that good then, if that's the standard.
Yeah, it's me in my notes pad drafting most of the captions, and then sending to John Zay, and then he proofreads it for me. So
Got it. All right, so now the opposite. Tell me about something where, because there are a lot of challenges in the arts, and there's a lot of obstacles when you're independent.
Right.
So what are some challenges and obstacles that you guys have faced, but also you guys have overcome?
I think one major one has just been COVID, because before I got to Karachi Community Radio was making a name for itself with live events. So we were doing virtual as well, but majority of people who heard about us were coming to our shows. We had a nice little community going. People were enjoying the shows. We were doing weirder and weirder shows as we kept going, and that drew a lot of attention. And then when COVID hit, and the live show scene was actually really good in Karachi for a period of time. There was different collectives throwing shows. I was away at uni, so this is all stories I've been told, and Karachi Community Radio was doing well as well, and then it just all kind of went flat when COVID hit. So the not being able to do live events has really been a struggle, I feel, because there's no better way to invoke a sense of community and passion in people than having them all in the same room.
Yeah.
Or in the same space listening to a set piece of art or looking at a set piece of art. So that's been really difficult, I think, not having that. In terms of monetary stuff, like, yeah, it's rough. You wanna do more and more, but obviously monetary restrictions, time restrictions, because this is it's like I'm going to school now, so that's also a thing. But I love doing this, so I'll always be down to help out with whatever we do, in that sense. So yeah, there are definitely challenges, but
that has definitely been the biggest for whoever I've interviewed, artists or just my friends. It's been really difficult to do anything, really. Even mundane tasks, it's been so hard to get out of bed, because it's just what's the use kind of thought idea. Okay, so the arts, it's ever changing, it's ever growing. There's always some new trend or something that we want to bring into. We want to bring challenges or whatever. So my question for you is, what's new for KCR, and where is KCR going? What can we expect to see from you guys?
Within the realm of virtual production is what we've been doing recently for the past few months. Since I joined, we've been exploring virtual production really heavily, and there's so many possibilities, just because you are literally in front of a green screen, and then you're the painter on the computer. You can do whatever you really want with it. So we're experimenting with object tracking, which is a nice little camera feature which you can track objects nicely in a 3D space. It gives you coordinates and stuff. It's kind of high-tech stuff that John Zave knows about, and I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about when I really have no idea.
The idea is cool though.
Yeah. So ideas like that. John Zave's consistently experimenting with art and technology in that sense. So stuff like that. Hopefully COVID is not dying out. It's always going to be a part of us, I think. But more and more people are getting vaccinated, and we're able to have vaccinated shows. And recently, there's been a lot of talk that, oh, hey, we want to throw shows again. So people are coming up to us. We've been thinking, hey, we should throw shows again. So we're thinking of, what the best safe way to throw a show is, and what would we want to show.
Okay.
So we've been thinking about, what artist, what space, stuff like that. So a lot of shows, I think, will be coming up soon. In-person shows and not virtual shows.
Hopefully soon, yeah. I'd be really excited to be able to be part of one of those experiences. Right. Okay, that is actually about everything. We covered everything about KCR and what's to come. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was a blast.
Of course. And for my beautiful listeners, definitely check out KCR. They're a really cool production, crew, radio, call it what you will. Yeah. They do it all. And I'll see you next time.
Take care.